Welcome again to our interview for the portal today. So I have Michael Van Roon with me, and he's over in the Netherlands. And he's written a book which caught my eye actually, maybe a year or so ago. I think it was at the last Animal Energy World Conference that I went to. I must have seen it linked to that. And because it's called, it translates in English as Your Pet, It's You. So of course, that to me sounded very much or very similar to the work that we do in Canine Flow. And I really wanted to chat to you. So hi, Michael. Thank you for being here. And tell us a bit about your book. Have you got it there with you?
Yes, well, actually, I only have the Dutch version with me because we're still working on the English version. It's going to be launched at the World Animal Energy Conference in Manchester in May this year. Well, this is the Dutch version. It's called Jij bent je dier, which is Dutch for Your Pet, It's You. Okay. Basically, I wrote my theory because I was working as a vet technician in a veterinary clinic. And I found that, that's not everything. There's more. So there's a need for alternatives. And I started working in the energy therapy field. Mm-hmm. And working with animals, I found out that the complaints of animals, either physical, emotional, or spiritual, can be found in their human counterpart as well. So you're both experiencing the same things in life, process-wise. And for that reason, you can look at your animal and see what's going on for yourself and treat it for both. So that's, in short, what my book's about.
Yeah. So there's elements there where they're kind of, they're a vibrational match, which is possibly the reason why they've been drawn together.
Yeah, exactly. The way I see it, the animal chooses its owner or human counterpart, as I call it, and not the other way around. So that's most definitely vibrational. You kind of have the same energy pattern as your animal for some parts, and that's why you experience the same things, and that's why you belong together and have a process of learning together, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would say that about my own little dog, Fusa, and my cat as well, who arrived at my doorstep on a really cool date in numerology numbers as well. So it's like, okay, yeah, I could totally believe that they do absolutely come to us. When we're ready, the teacher appears, as they say.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many signs to prove this. And the book is written on cats, dogs, and horses. Mm-hmm. Because I think the species of animals also says something about the lesson they're coming to learn us, or to teach us. I'm sorry. So for cats, I really see that most of the time it's something from a far past, which can be, of course, in this life, in the beginning of your life, or even a former life. And for dogs, they really help us interacting with others from our own species. So the way your dog interacts with other dogs says a lot about your way of interacting with other people.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with this, and this is something that we use within Canine Flow, definitely. What about situations that you could kind of go more into, where you want to kind of like either blame yourself for something, or you might feel that you have imposed things on the dog in the past, or you haven't looked after them in the way that you now know is more natural to do so, or and you might think, well, I've taught them to do this, or I've taught them to be this way. Where does that come into it?
The issue of blame, you mean, right?
Well, I guess it is. I mean, there is, that's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think, or at least in my theory, there is no blame. So your dog is not anxious because you are anxious, but you both experience anxiety in some way. So you can solve this together. For me, it was very hard. I work with horses a lot. And of course, if you look at the dressage sport, for example, you see a lot of things happening harming the horse. And it's for me very hard to see. I guess for everyone who loves animals, it is. But when I started looking at it from my theory, I see that people are treating themselves this way as well. So if you pull the reins on your horse, you also pull the reins on yourself. And you see a lot of the complaints in both people that are involved, of the animal and the person that is involved together. So in that way, there is some sort of no blame, because you're both experiencing it and you're just learning together, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's
Is
really...
that an answer to your question, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it does. Yeah, but it's really key for people to understand, because also it's a completely turned on its head way of how traditionally behavior, dog training, that kind of thing has worked, you know, and this way of understanding that our energetic makeup is basically vibrationally matched with our pet, I think is so key, and helps us to move forward as well. So, you know, they're not, then yes, they're here to be there for us in terms of companionship, but it's so much more than that. They're here to give us a real way to understand ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. They're really here also, not only because of it, but also to help us. That's one of their goals. Or I think it's one of their goals.
Yeah, like spiritual ascension through your dog, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Because and going back to this whole blame thing, if you keep blaming yourself for not doing things right in the past, it really stops your energy flow. And looking forward at what can we learn together, and how much have we changed because we learned those things. That's a much better way to look at it, and it makes your energy flow instead of...
Yes, instead of sort of stagnant, stuck energy, or limiting beliefs. It's very true what you say about the, you know, the way that people are treating animals. We look and we think, well, we would never do that, but then we're probably not doing that to ourselves. They're in that stuck energy themselves. But there may be other things that we're doing. One of the things that I tell people to look at and to monitor in themselves is the small talk that they give their dog. And I'm just as likely to do this as the next person. So on a day that I might be feeling not so confident or a bit limited, I might be saying things like, "Oh no, you know, we can't go that far on the walk," or "Don't go over there," or, you know, and little things that we might, you know, feel that we're doing with our dog actually is because of the way we're feeling that day, and it can change the little things. Say to our dog repeatedly. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it very is. Yeah.
Okay, so the book is going to be launched or the English book, should I say, the one that you've translated yourself into English, which is quite a feat, so well done. That's going to be launched in May at the World Animal Energy Conference, but presumably will be available on Amazon anyway.
Not on Amazon.
No?
You can... I will send you the link to my own website, and you can order it on the website of the publisher. So, and they send it everywhere.
Okay, so the book, as well as being called Your Pet, It's You, it does also say underneath, which has got me excited as well, about this. It's the science. The strapline is the science behind something you call Zooenergetics, which just sounds amazing. Zooenergetics was something that you have come up with, this term Zooenergetics, or is there someone else also doing this?
No, it's the first time it has been described, and it's a term I came up with myself. And it's kind of trying to I call it provoke earlier, is that a right way to put this? People have a certain view on science, like science has to be this and that. And I gave it like a semi-science name, Zooenergetics, to show that there is a real pattern in it, which you can follow, to show that it's a theory that is very valuable and something we can all learn.
Yes, yeah, which is fantastic. So because science basically always was the idea that you have a theory that then becomes put into practice, becomes a study, becomes research, and we're at the research stage now because so many more of us are discovering this. Yeah, so
exactly.
we haven't. It's not science from the point of, hey, I can prove this, this, and this. It's science as of the point of inquiry.
Yeah, and I also I think of it as the meaning, collecting the knowledge of, because that's if you look at it, the word science, or at least in Dutch it is that way. I don't know whether that's the same in English, but in Dutch it can also mean a collection of knowledge of a certain topic, and that's how I collected my knowledge of working energetically with both animals and humans.
Mm-hmm.
And put that together in a theory where you can use it very down to earth, I guess.
Yes, I think, well, this is the key. It is the same in English. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same universally across the globe. That science really should be where you're at the point of inquiry and the point of theory. And
Mm-hmm.
as you've said, you can also call it or use that term to describe data collection, which is essentially what you've done with all your different consultations. But the public perception of science is that if something's scientific, it's already been proven. They forget that it actually goes through like this whole other process before it becomes proven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's the
Yeah.
same. So can you just tell us what kinds of stuff do you actually do if you go out to do a consultation with someone and their horse, or someone and their dog, or what would you actually do?
Well, basically, my energy work is just hands-on. So I work with the energy flow with my hands, and in addition to that, I have a couple of techniques to make the process of the energy work go on after the consultation. And many people know the Bach remedies, and I have made a couple of my own. I mean, can you see it this way? Like these little bottles, and I can test which combination of remedies works to treat a complaint in a dog or an animal, or another animal. I can measure this out with biotensor is what we call it. I guess it's a measuring equipment. Do you know the English word for this?
I don't know that I do, but that sounds like the kind of word I've heard before.
Yeah.
Biodanza. I've heard biodanza even. So
Yeah. Well.
anyway, it sounds like biology of energy or something.
Yeah, it is. And I can measure this out. And the combination of remedies I use during the consultation, I put in this little tube. And I use it directly on the dog. For example, I keep it in my hands while treating, or with horses, I can just put it on their back with a little piece of tape. And after the consultation, I give this to the owner to carry with them in their pockets. These things, they just seem to find their own way. So if people lose it, it's over. Sometimes they open, and then the work has been done. And it's really funny because with a lot of people, it happens like if there's this first consultation and after 2 weeks the next one, this thing opens up like 2 days before they come back to my practice. Those things just happen. It's really nice. And in that way, I treat the complaints for the dogs and their owners at the same time. So
yeah, and we're talking emotional and behavioral stuff as well, not just well-being.
No, emotional and behavioral things as well, definitely.
And do you find that there's a lot of kind of unresolved trauma almost that people have, that they, the dog might be allowing that and not be in a place of limiting the expression of it?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
But yeah, I'm just wondering, because what I have seen before, although I may be reading the situations wrong, but is that the dog is not morally limiting itself from expressing how it feels. So the dog is, if say it is anxiety, the dog will, or fear of a certain thing, the dog will express itself, but the person may not realize that they actually have this anxiety themselves. It may be suppressed, or they may not be conscious of it. So do you find in your work that it's a bit of a wake-up call almost for an owner to be like, actually, yeah, now you say it, I do feel this way about people in hats or whatever it might be that the animal is angry?
Yeah, definitely. And there's of course this also the way I'm trying to find the words. I'm sorry. There's also the way of looking at it, that if I tell you you're an anxious person, it really strikes you, right? And if I tell you, well, your dog seems to be anxious about this or that, and how is that with you?
Yeah.
It's much softer way, and it's not as straightforward, and it gives you time and it gives you space to be honest about this. So there is the part that you just said, but also this, and this all comes together in working for both.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think, the beauty of working with animals in this way, because they can be the route to encouraging people to see more about themselves and view how they are interacting with the world.
And they help anyway. So this is another part of their help, and that's definitely what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really cool.
It is.
And you find this happens a lot with cats?
Yeah, cats are very interesting on themselves, of course. Definitely energetically seen. What I find is that cats are masters at letting go of negative energy. They very much help everyone with this. And as I said, cats represent the things from the past, from the far past. So if something happened in childhood, or even in a former life, the cat that is with you nowadays helps you to solve these things.
Yes, I really believe that. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening with my cat Fika at the moment. So going back to before you did this stuff, you're working as a vet technician.
Yeah.
And what did that include? Was that it's not a vet nurse, I'm guessing?
Yeah, well, the terms are a little bit different. Here in the Netherlands, we only have a paraveterinair, we call it. And this is just the person in the practice that does everything, from answering the phone to assisting with surgery and all those things. A very wide range of things to do in the veterinary practice.
And that was you?
Yeah, that was me at that point, yeah.
So where did you first hear about energy, or what made you look beyond?
Well, this is something I had always experienced, because, how you call it? I do feel and see also deceased people. I can feel them. I can connect with them. And walking into a room, I always felt directly what was going on and how the people felt in this place. Nowadays, it's a bit of a fashion term, I guess. You call it hypersensitive people, I guess, in English.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a fashion way to put it, but yeah, I guess I'm one of those people. And when my own horse got crippled, you call it cripple or lameness, when it was suffering from lameness, it was treated by someone doing energy work, and it worked so well.
Oh, you're back.
How people and animals feel, and the connecting with deceased people and animals, and working with your hands. So that's when I started to develop it as well.
So the horse that was poorly was really your entrance into this. Did you have anything going on in terms of being stuck in your body or energetically at that time? Were you lame?
Yeah, definitely. No, well, I wasn't lame though. But I had exactly the same things. And eventually we found out that it was coming from his, I think you call it hip, which was limited in movement. And I had the same thing going on. So yeah, it was exactly the same. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah. So what animals do you own at the moment?
Well, I still have this horse.
Yeah.
It's a Haflinger. He's in the book as well. Let me find him. Here he is.
Yeah, you show us. Oh, and his name?
His name is Billy.
Billy. Oh.
Yes.
Super.
Yeah, it's really nice.
His name.
And
his hair matches mine.
Yes, it does. And I have this cute little dog. It's over here.
Oh. Hey, like a little Jack Russell. Oh, it is a Jack Russell.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Beautiful, massive eyes, huge eyes that dog has. Yeah. And what's your dog called?
Milo.
Milo. Okay. And
Milo.
so how do you mirror each other, or how do you have the similar energies? What energies are the same with you guys, you and Milo?
Well, the thing is, what I also write in my book is that I think that animals connect to one human being.
Mm-hmm.
One human being can connect to a lot of animals because it's possible that we're working out a lot of things, a lot of parts in our life, but animals connect to one person to help. I think that's enough though. So my dog is connected to my partner,
Ah.
and my horse is connected to me.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it your idea to get the dog, or was it your partner's idea to get the dog, or how did that come about?
Well, he didn't want a dog in first place, and I did, but we ended up finding a dog which represented his life and is fully connected to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he accepted the help, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you find ever that there could be a dog in a household that it almost feels that it can't connect, that the owner is almost blocking the connection in some way, that they may feel almost not ready to face their emotional stuff, and so the dog is then less able to feel safe in some way, or?
Well, I don't really fully see it that way. I think they do connect to one person in a household, but then if it looks disconnected,
Mm-hmm.
then this person is also disconnected.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah.
So yes, that's possible. It's possible that there is this blocked dog, but then this person it's connected to is also very blocked.
Yeah, yeah, it's really fascinating, and of course we all love the entirely romantic stories that we see, like the guy that was running in India and the dog found him, and they obviously connected. I don't know if you remember that. It was kind of went viral, I think, the video about it, and the guy ended up bringing the dog back and that kind of thing. So I don't know the exact figures, but I'm wondering in terms of people to animal ratio on the planet. I mean, there's got to be an animal out there for everyone, in theory, to ensure that we start to move forward and start to release some of our emotional stuff or become aware of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I also find it very sort of frightening when people hate animals.
Mm.
You understand? I mean, that means those people are either not able to accept help in any way, or well, I don't know. Judge yourself.
I have, yeah.
I just think
I can't say I've met people that hate them, or that they've told me that they hate them. I've met people that are very scared and don't like fur, but then they will maybe have a different pet, like a lizard or something. But I haven't, maybe people that don't understand them or don't like to be around them. Like you said, they're not ready for change, really.
Maybe, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been fascinating to talk to you. Thank you so much. And I don't know if I think we mentioned that you were going to send a link to. Can you pre-order the book? I'm guessing you can pre-order.
I'm not sure. We're still working on everything. I think it's only going to be launched from the 13th of May, and then you can order it.
And
online.
Do you do all your consults in person, or do you do anything online?
Well, no. Usually, I do it in person. Yes.
Yeah.
I really feel like I have to see the dog. I have to see the environment to do my work in the best way I can.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Fascinating. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking. I'm just going to, in terms of those of you watching, then the link will be underneath, or maybe even be with the video itself. And I shall obviously be back with some more really fabulous information for you all. Thank you for watching today.